Are we live?
With 216?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is quality content, folks.
Jake, you failed.
You are listening to episode 216 of SonarFeed. Drew Fischer is a horrible official.
I totally thought
Accurate.
there was an intro going. That's why I asked that question.
No, that's why we
were
said
like,
we were going
"You're
cold
live,
open.
Jake.
Oh,
Cold,
You wanna try
cold
again?
open.
No.
Cold open.
We've already gone too far. Fuck it. We're live.
Fuck
We
it.
just did Dave
Fuck it.
Energetic.
We'll do it
Let's-
live.
Dave's off camera again.
Oh, sorry.
Jake's a camera hog. Anyway, welcome to SonarFeed episode 216, plus like 10 or 12 that we didn't count somewhere in the middle because
That were
Mark
point
learned about the
ones.
decimal system.
I went to
And got really-
Wazoo.
Go Cugs.
Cugs.
Anyway, happy Monday evening. Shout out to the folks here in the bar.
Woo!
We've got new homeowner K. Hope.
K. Hope.
We've got a couple
K.
of
Hope.
departing people, one of whom is on the show this evening.
I've already forgotten his name.
So we're going to go around the
Hey,
around
you know
the
what
room
we have?
here.
Our most regular guests.
We did not give
We
them a
have
shout
not
out.
done a formal. Congratulations on getting married. They did that about a month ago.
Hooray,
We didn't
marriage.
Have them at a show for a couple weeks, and now they're married.
That's actually what it took for them to not be here in the bar, finally, is they had to get married. Right. Well done. So
So did they
anyway,
give you frequent flyo points or something?
I mean, they might.
There is a point
Oh,
total
okay.
that you can get at the Berliner Pub, 3rd and Main, downtown Renton.
Ahead of the curve.
We've got good Berliner news in a few minutes too. So anyway, we'll let's dig in here.
Call it breaking.
I'd call it breaking.
Okay.
Yeah, we were told like literally minutes before we realized that we had technical difficulties
Where's
Also, that
at like 6 o'clock.
that we realized we didn't have a computer.
Where's Weigel with the sound
But we did have a
effects?
computer.
He is doing
It
his.
just wasn't the right.
It was the
computer.
wrong computer.
No, I get it, but
He is doing his civic duty. Doing
He is.
civic talks.
What's
so
that called?
uh,
Friend of the show, Nate Bowling does adult civic.
Adult civics.
after dog.
After dark.
AC,
Adult civic.
ACHH or something like
yeah.
that? Yeah.
Adult civics happy hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think it should be.
I remember the
after
hashtag.
dog.
Shocking.
Yeah. And they're at a
I'm not shocked.
they're at a brewery today, so
Same.
they're talking about citizens'
Beer.
relationships to law enforcement and de-escalation while drinking beer, and you can catch it live streamed, or we'd prefer podcast because you're watching us right now.
And
Don't
is cool.
turn us off.
and shout out to Podfish and his hot takes.
He is
During
making
the-
hot takes on the Twitters as we speak.
About
So
the Flintstones.
let's go around the room here.
Introduce ourselves.
I'm Tom Biro, a.k.a. Bougie Hooli. And to my left... Hey,
That's
Mark,
you,
that's
Mark.
you.
You're not on the air often.
Oh.
My
left.
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 Yeah.
Left. That's me. That's me. Mark.
Go Cougs.
AKA SSFC Fody 13. Go Cougs, by the way. We won.
Go
Who?
Quags.
Across
supposed to toss.
across from me.
Is that your toss? Okay.
Over there.
I'm Dave Clark at Better Than.
Better.
To my left, and the guest of tonight's show,
I don't know who made that mistake, but
Dave did.
okay.
I was at Temple drinking, and I said, "Hey, can you come on the show?" And you said, "I guess."
We had already talked about it, and you didn't seem interested.
okay.
Because I
But-
think you were just going to come anyway.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we have Royal Bermuda Yacht Clubs before every match? Because that
How
was
fantastic
perfect.
was that? We could probably have one here.
Is that a drink?
It
Yes,
is. It's
it
amazing.
is
You should get one.
fantastic.
Jake, what did you have?
But
Yeah.
What did you have?
Ed
I am
makes it.
Jake at Jake from DM.
Jake from DM.
I had.
Are you going to
something-
make it Jake from YYZ?
No.
So you have news.
So I had something. Amazing. I have no idea what Eduardo made. It was just something in a glass that was great.
A mocktail.
A mocktail.
What
And it
was
was
Here?
What do you? Oh, it was a fojito.
No. There was a better one after the first
Oh,
one. First one
okay.
he didn't make, and it was mediocre.
But then Ed made the other one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ed at the pharmacy.
Seriously.
Ed's very good at mocktails. Ed's very good at drinks.
Same.
Yeah.
So
I'm good at drinking them.
So we have a few
Surprise
things that we want
coup.
to talk about tonight.
Week that was.
Jake is on the show tonight because he has been, I will say, a very vital member of ECS family since the time that he has been here in lovely Seattle. And he is in 2 weeks. What are we at?
Like a week and 2 days.
Week and 2 days, moving to the big YYZ.
The place where Seattle wins trophies.
Yeah.
Did we get allocation money for him?
That's a great question.
By the way, I
And for-
gotta hook you up with some the people there. Some very good Toronto fans.
Kurt Larson?
No,
Yeah.
Dwayne, Ben, and Ben, people that supported me when Sounder Art was
I
tiny
think I'm
and
funny.
independent.
So Jake is moving very soon to Toronto. Had a great career opportunity. So he and the lovely Caroline, who's hiding in the background waving at us right now, are packing all their stoof and making
help
their
you pack.
way to Toronto.
Don't forget
So we'll
Manfred.
talk a little bit about that.
We're not even allowed to pack.
Don't forget Manfred.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. But there was, so let's talk a little bit about the weeks that were.
As it relates to SonarFeed, Jake is often the guy that's off camera yelling at us questions that we have to repeat because he
He's
doesn't
off
have a
camera.
microphone.
You were going to be
And
up
not on mine.
super late, dude.
SonarFeed, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Toronto time. That's TRONNA if you haven't already figured that out.
As you were saying, since
No,
we
seriously, look
last
it up.
met, three games, right?
A number of things have happened since we were last here.
3 Sounders games, all 1-win draws.
Yeah, can we talk about those losses?
Has it really been 3? No.
No, Dave.
No,
You
it
were
was
here
an
2 weeks
international
ago.
break.
Do you miss the international break, Dave?
Vancouver and Portland.
Wow, Dave? I'm not even sure where Dave is.
Did I
right
miss
now.
that show? I
Yeah.
did. I missed that show.
We had
Yeah.
a show 2 weeks ago
No, you were
with people from
here.
Tacoma.
Tim Hamilton.
Do you remember?
Steve Kettleson.
Oh yeah, Podfish.
So
Muffin Top
since
Model.
last show,
Let me drink more. That'll help.
since last show,
Alcohol improves your memory, I hear.
wow.
Can't hurt
What,
it at this point.
what has even just happened?
I don't know.
So since last show, we
we have a U.S. national team game.
had some international
That garbage
games.
file.
Some S2 tire fires.
Yeah. And we had a game yesterday. So maybe we should just start there,
So
given that
starting
we've
with our loss yesterday.
the loss.
I just
So,
realized my volume
as I
was on.
said when we left, you could tell Ziggy was coaching. He played for a draw against LA.
Damn. So anyway, Jake. So Sounders played a match on Sunday, pretty much full bore lineup wise. Sans
Shit.
Nuhu and Brett Evans.
I mean,
And Jovan Jones.
is Brad Evans even
We're gonna talk about that in a
back
second.
ever?
Jovan Jones.
No, it is his back.
Ye
Yeah.
of I'm back on the team. We'll see. What was it? It's up to him if he wants to play this weekend.
Clearly, it wasn't
But-
up to him.
No.
Generally speaking, pretty full bore lineup, or the options to have a pretty
10
full-bore
regular
lineup.
starters.
For sure, which you should feel pretty good about considering where the season has been.
And we
at
haven't
a
had
number of
10
occasions.
regular starters
Yeah.
very often.
So, as Jake mentioned, a loss. I would agree. Feels like a loss.
It
Doesn't-
really did.
I don't really have a lot to take away
I don't know
other
that
than
it feels like a
Nagel.
loss because that Nagel goal
Felt
was
great.
one of the
No, no.
louder moments in that series.
Absolutely.
So the Nagel goal was great, but everything else was trash.
Would you say it was a Nagel?
Boo.
Yeah. Anyway, that was fantastic, but like there were so many moments that were not good, and there were so many times where
I just
was
got shamed by
certain
the crowd, by the way.
that they were going to be able to. Yeah, I was certain they were going to be able to crack the code of a not good LA defense, and they could do basically nothing repeatedly. Also, Nico can probably stop taking corners.
I've been saying
Sometime
that all
soon.
year.
They've
Because
had
they were like
they've had
10
Will Don
yards
on the corners on the left side of the goal
I
about
don't think it was
half
all
the time
half the time
lately.
Yeah.
So does he know how to get past the first post?
Now,
Ever?
their design with his corners are to target that first post for either a
For not
knock
scoring?
over or a knock out. Like what they're trying to do is hit
Not
that first
do
post
anything?
to have, I think it's Chad that makes that run, and have him either flick it across goal or flick it back to about the 12 for a charging run to score.
So-
Well,
That's their design.
So
What
let
about
me-
the ones that go 10 yards over it?
So let me ask how
That
that
is
There were more
not
of
their
those.
design.
Yeah,
So-
but that happened a lot.
They do have a far post runner
wasn't
that is
there?
not
But the far
Torres.
post
It
is like
depends.
the stick in the corner.
But it should be coming at that angle towards the far post, like from the elbow to the post.
Like, this is not a
He's-
one-game thing.
he's
Like, it is
Bad
epidemic at this point.
He is bad at those far post kicks. The short ones, he's actually doing what they want.
but they haven't
Then
been
do more of those.
but they
because-
haven't been dangerous at all this
Yeah.
whole season.
Yeah, but if you only do the short ones, then they don't work either. Because
which is all he does.
Well,
Or
no,
he
Well, he's
kicks
either
it out of
skying
bounds,
them
or he kicks it out on the other
or-
side.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the least of the concerns on the Sounders' offense right now.
You put that over there.
The offense just did not seem like it clicked really. It's not like at no points whatsoever was there anything, but you'd get your 2-3 passes, and then all of a sudden Deuce just passes to the wall.
Literally.
And Fischer, like, I don't even know what he's doing at all. It's going to be okay, Mark.
Oh, it's
It's just the internet. Just you were looking at that goofy
I mean,
face
they
you're
got
making right
15 shots off in the area
there. Absolutely.
and 20-something overall.
And how many look
But
dangerous?
could you really have ever said that they looked like dangerous is not even a word I would go near.
Yeah.
Like that the offense clicked really at all. I
No.
mean,
No,
Roldan had a
No.
beautiful game. Okay, like look statistically or otherwise, there were a couple of players that had really, really strong games individually, but as an offense, like, and you know, we'll come back to Jordan and knock on wood. I hope he's okay. He's, I don't know what he's even doing. For months now.
So I've had the opinion that there's always the thing that coaches do is make you ride the bench for a game to put you in perspective. And that should have been a month and a half ago. I like Jordan.
Well, that was the first time he was healthy this year. So
Yeah.
if you force a player to play through injury and then bench him because he was
Well, you
injured,
know.
that's a bad idea.
Or, actually let somebody heal.
Well, yeah, he should have been benched in mid-May when it was clear that he wasn't Jordan Morris because he wasn't fast.
So, all in all, it just, I don't know.
Thanks,
It's
Dad
fine to
Morris.
continue an unbeaten streak, a home unbeaten streak, and a broader one. But when you string these matches all together, the last 3, it just feels pretty not awesome.
It's a disappointing 12-game unbeaten streak.
Yeah.
By the way, we're so spoiled we get to complain about
12-game unbeaten streaks, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe it's doubled down because you ended up this week with Portland in first, and Vancouver third
Third.
for
It's
real.
Cascadia
Although they're-
1, 2,
and they're
3.
down games too, which
Yeah.
is just silly from a scheduling perspective. So Cascadia all
Aren't they
That's
down?
also-
Don't they have like 3 in hand?
yeah, something like
That's
that.
also
On
yeah.
On
Portland,
Portland.
we have two. We have one in Portland.
We have one on one.
That's
yeah.
also the Cascadia rankings right now. 1, 2, and 3. Just like
Yeah.
One of those games in hand is Seattle, Vancouver.
Right.
Yeah.
Midweek.
Good
the next home
times.
game.
So, all in all, it was just really stressful to watch. Unentertaining. People I know that I haven't watched the replay yet. Everybody I know that's watched it is like, yeah, that was pretty much a waste of 90 minutes of my life.
I watched the condense and just was angry.
Yeah. I know. It's just frustrating. Let's just actually get the elephant in the room here. Officiating was actually awful.
Horrid.
It was bad.
Horrid.
And for everyone.
Now-
That's not just like sour grapes.
dropped something.
Sounders had calls against them or no calls or whatever. It was bad all around.
Now Dave did have a couple good points before the show.
Wait,
that,
when was that?
About
Dave
pre-show.
Dave Clark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saying that he did do
The
some
astronaut concierge.
He did do some good advantage calls, but that was about
Yeah.
that's about it.
There was one coming towards the south end that he called advantage on. That was a wonderful call.
I also loved his delayed yellow against Giovanni Dos Santos for pouting.
Yeah.
Like, Gio thought he got fouled, didn't get the call, and started doing the 3-year-old pounding the turf thing. And then he got up and started running towards Drew, and at the next stoppage, Fischer's like, yellow card. Dude, you gave a yellow card for a grown man pouting.
I'm excited for next
That
season.
I love.
When Giovanni Dos Santos gets a ball punted into his face for being a dick in front of the keeper.
So what's new about Dos Santos not being?
Nothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I really wanted... There was one where he got a verbal warning,
Yeah.
and I wanted Fry to risk the deflection.
Just pop him. Yeah.
Because
throw it at his head.
he would have gotten carded, and it would have been his second.
Yeah.
Now, you might have gotten one of those crazy-ass own goals, but
But it would look cool.
Well,
you would have
that-
gotten him sent off.
Like Dos Santos down. Yeah. It was just a really
We've seen
frustrating
Freddie
game.
Montero got
Yeah.
3 yellows for doing shit like that. Two yellows for
like-
doing stuff like that.
Just watching Jones out there, aside from the fact that I just want to punch him in the face for basically
So did
everything
Clint
he does.
Dempsey.
Yeah. At least once.
Their tension between the two national team players, who I guess don't actually like each
Does
other.
not seem that they like each other
I
at
mean,
all.
why is
They did not meet for dinner post game.
No.
no.
No. And you had a sub in the 30th for the Galaxy keeper, who, by the way, it was declared by the Galaxy fans, I think, on television. They were very disappointed that we were chanting, let him die, to their keeper.
Oh,
When, I'm really sad that the 5 minutes that he spent up and down on the ground turned into 3. But that's a whole nother discussion.
also didn't they put in a better goalie in the
Pretty much.
between
Well,
the
Seems
kind
like
of.
it worked that way.
LA doesn't really know who their best goalie is.
No.
They've had 3 keepers that have all played 6 or more games, started 6 or more games at this season, and it's kind of like in the NFL. There's the saying: if you have more than one quarterback, you don't have a quarterback.
No quarterbacks.
Yeah.
However, Lowe's been consistent.
No, he's been garbage
Has
this
he?
year. That's why he lost his starting job to 2 different keepers at various points
He
this season.
may be
he didn't
the
lose
better
his starting
keeper.
job for injury.
But-
he lost
but
his
of
starting job
these
for
3,
garbage.
He's consistent against us.
But
That's
he
how many games
faces
is that?
Seattle 2 to 3
times,
times a
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
He
But
lost his starting job because he's garbage.
I mean, LA
They
as a
should
whole
have been
this-
able to do better.
LA as a whole this year is garbage.
They didn't have Pele Van Aanholt. They didn't have Van Dam. They didn't have Robbie Rogers. I mean, the
Luckily-
only defensive player they had that was any good is Ashley Cole, who
Luckily-
also happened to be the only player on LA who I ended the night not despising, which is weird because normally I would despise Ashley Cole.
Just because he's Ashley Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily
for
they
But
didn't
his
have-
play on the field.
If they had Van Dam, somebody would have went off with a broken leg with the way they.
Jermaine tried.
I mean,
did.
But by the way, did you see what the temperature
somebody has stepped up.
of the game was?
Was it officially nice?
It was officially nice.
It was super nice. It was a wonderful 69 degrees.
Nice.
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 How much of a whiny player is Alessandrini? Because
he and Gio, they need
But-
to move in together because, like, they're perfect.
yeah, like on the like 0 to Robbie Keane scale,
They're both Robbie Keane.
they're both Robbie Keane, right? At least.
Like, you know what? I need to correct myself. Jonathan Dos Santos, while his impact on the game wasn't much, but at the same point, I didn't find myself hating him as a person. And,
yeah, because he just went out and did his job.
yeah, Lettuce Boy and Gio and Squirrel Jones. The rest of the defensive line, I despise. Boateng re-entering the field twice without permission.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
0 fucks.
I mean, he does make Victor Rodriguez look like a giant, so I forgive him.
Victor
I know what it's like to be a
Rodriguez
short person.
is
Speaking of which,
tiny,
total
though.
derail when they're walking off after the warm-ups. he's walking next to Chad Marshall, and I was like, "Oh, look, he's so cute." Yeah,
You could just put him in your pocket.
he's like a foot shorter. Anyway, so we have whiny LA players, awful refereeing, a non-clicking Sounders offense.
Our defense is really freaking good.
Yeah,
That's the only.
I saw two people today say they thought that Torres may have played one of his best games in a while.
Yeah.
Even if you don't look at the numbers, they just said, like, just watching him play and how he was involved, they thought he had a fantastic game.
I did do this Sounder Art Twitter from like my seats because of miscommunications all around, and I called him.
We don't ever have those.
What's that like?
I called him the paddle in Pong. The way that he was just always there,
Yeah.
blocking shots. Like he'd pop up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, either a player or the ball would be knocked aside, and it was wonderful. That's the first time this season that I've felt like I've seen the Ramon Torres that we had for that first half of season and the second half of last year. This was the best he's been this season. And he still managed to play as a defensive midfielder quite a bit.
He really wants that goal.
He wants it bad.
He's got 2 assists this year.
He got
Yeah.
that taste
on crosses.
Yeah.
He got that taste of that PK, and he wants to put something back in the net.
There is a little too frequently that he decides to play as a defensive midfielder.
Well, he's exactly what you're going to expect from him. He's going to have a weird miscue or be in the wrong place one time, and then the other 97% of the time, he just shows up, and you're like, how did you even know to be there?
But what's
and
fun,
it generally works out.
he's tending to get, like, he got forward yesterday because LA pulled themselves into a shell. So it was only Giasse Zardes that was up. Chad Marshall can handle Giasse. So it was, Ramon's like, fine, I'll get forward. We'll have another guy that can cross the ball and maybe shoot from distance. Katie. Gin and tonic.
Dave wants a
Can I
non.
get-
What are you drinking again? Honey with honey?
Don't need to talk about it.
The honey drink?
Honey, and gin.
Honey with honey?
Are you trying to sing a Dave Matthews song?
No, I'm not.
I mean, he went fully unoriginal, so
I was going
Dave Matthews 100%.
full Mariah Carey. Come on. So someone just tweeted at me, Dennis in Olympia, just said that he made a commitment to not yell at officials this year, then Drew Fischer. Sounds about right. So, I hate ever blaming games on officials, ever. Like, in total.
Well,
I don't know if he decided the game.
He didn't.
He made the game worse
he made the game less enjoyable.
for everyone.
Yeah.
I saw LA fans even pissed about the Jones dive
Well,
at the
when
end.
they were tweeting at Sounders fans, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm a Galaxy fan, and that was totally a dive."
Mike Petke.
That was fantastic.
What? I didn't see
Mike
that.
Petke watching the game goes, that
Well,
was a
first he was like,
red?
that was a red, and then the follow up was even better when he was like,
I haven't seen his follow.
He's like, it was like 20 minutes later or something. He's like, that was a foul, which is wonderful.
Did he print something out for it?
He may have.
Sounder Heart did say, pass him out, Trey.
Yeah, I got nothing.
When other head coaches in the league are watching a game and calling out the refereeing,
That says something.
it's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's weird because normally Fischer called a lot of yellows. And normally when that happens, players tone it down.
Right.
But that didn't
It
happen.
just kept going.
And by like the 70th minute, it wasn't just the LA players that were overly violent. Like Clint was getting violent. Torres was getting violent. Ozzy was getting, like, Ozzy might get suspended.
That's what happens
Because
when
of
you,
that, yeah.
That's what happens when you don't control the fucking
But
game.
he gave yellows out. He called fouls.
Didn't matter,
He gave
though.
a lot of yellows out.
But I think that he's given the yellows out, but I think, like, no one took it as a warning because they either didn't respect the calls or
Yeah.
they just didn't care.
He also gave a lot of verbal warnings, too. Like, nobody listened to him.
Hell,
nobody respected
when he
him,
was going
essentially.
after the keeper. Two people actually were getting called for time,
Yeah.
and then who was it? taking the corner at the far end, so at the northeast end.
Late
the
second
AR,
half. Yeah.
she's chewing on him. And he's like, oh, let me spin the ball a couple more times. And I'm like, you are a dick. Take your corner. And it's not that they went into, like, full-on time wasting up a goal, but there was some, like, annoying shit that happened over and over and over.
So what you're saying was Ziggy was playing for a draw
Pretty much.
against LA?
I'm not. Siggy respects this team. That was clear from
For sure.
pregame, how he entered the field during the announcements, and postgame. I'm not necessarily willing to blame, credit, whichever is the right word, Siggy for the behavior of the Galaxy players. I think that's what they basically discovered. That's the only way they have a chance this year because they're a garbage squad.
They've just decided to be garbage people because they're a garbage squad.
Well, I mean, they have Jermaine Jones, so...
Hey, somebody had to step up after Van Dam left.
Their best defensive player is a guy that the Seattle Sounders cast aside, Daniel Steres.
Yeah. And here they are. Well,
I mean, they're in the race for the wooden spoon this year. They're the third worst team in the league.
I mean, they're making a very good case to not be the LA team at all. Like, the stadium's going to have like 12 people in the next season.
that'll probably be more than go see the Chargers, though.
I mean,
So-
Chargers might have 13, actually.
I absolutely think they're going to get wasted by LAFC, but that's a whole nother conversation ultimately. So coming out of Sunday, I don't know if we really learned anything except maybe players are tired. Jordan Morris is for sure out this week, probably out the rest of the season, if we had to guess. Stephen Fry is super pissed off still.
Can you let me his house?
We may or may not have Roman Torres next week.
We may or may not have Ozzy.
Right. So we're going into Dallas. Thank you. Who isn't really showing very much right now as far as teams that...
8 games without a win.
Yeah. As far as teams that you at the beginning of the season thought were going to show and be front running the whole season, I would have picked them.
To recap, the front runners at the beginning of the season, national media, without a doubt, was TFC, Seattle, Dallas. TFC and us, the Sounders, are still in that can be an M. There's no one in the world, not even Oscar Pereira, thinks that FC Dallas is going to be an MLS Cup.
Yeah. And are they still in 6th?
They're in
They are.
free fall.
They're still in 6th.
They're going to let a team with a negative double-digit goal differential make the playoffs. You got the
Wow,
standings out.
San Jose is minus 17.
It's that bad. Let me look at this.
Yeah, and they're 7th in the West.
Minnesota needs to start letting up more goals. Got to get that record.
Yeah, they got that defense figured out. Once Sam Cronin, when healthy, actually really helps them
funny
out.
how that works,
Their
right?
acquisition of Sam Cronin and Mark Birch was really good.
So, so we're going forward. Match in Dallas on Saturday at, 5 Pacific. I mean, does the lineup change? Jordan
A lot.
aside, let's say everything stays static, and let's say even Torres comes back.
So
Do you think the lineup changes dramatically?
Well,
And is
you're
it-
gonna Will Bruin. Oh, sorry, Jake. It's your show.
So you got Bruin in replace for Morris. You probably see Nuhu if they're still pissed at Jones or Jones.
Yeah, you have at least 2 positions changing
Yeah.
there. Maybe Svensson for Torres,
Maybe
which
Run-
might mean maybe Jordy DeLem for Ozzy Alon. Like, you could have 4 changes.
What?
Well, I mean, if you didn't have Ozzy, wouldn't you just play Svensson at his
Well,
position?
but then Torres is...
Well, okay, yeah.
Unless the appeal.
I'm saying
If Svensson...
the worst
If
case
Torres is
scenario
out.
from the suspension
Is
and
Delem.
review is Ozzy gets suspended and Torres doesn't come back. Then you have Gustav Svensson at one of the two positions.
Right.
And then you have either Tony Alfaro or Jordy DeLem.
We draft Zach
Or-
Scott back.
Or, miracle of miracles, Brad Evans gets healthy within the week.
I don't
That
know.
would be
He seems to be
wonderful.
on another vacation.
What if
No, he wasn't.
Obafemi Martins just signs during the week since he's hanging out?
By the way, Obafemi Martin's hanging out with Steve Zakuani. Awesome. Like, the players don't hate Obafemi Martins.
At all.
Garth Lagerwey, Adrian Hanauer might hate Obafemi Martins. But the players still like Oba.
Because he's
Also-
fantastic.
I checked out Shanghai Shenhua's schedule. Oba skipped a game to come to Seattle.
I
Did he really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
what are they going to do? Stop
that's
paying him
interesting.
Stupid money.
So he might be pulling with Shanghai Shenhua. Essentially, what he threatened to do to the Sounders, and they're like, "Fine, find another job." Except there aren't anybody else out there that's going to pay Obo what
$2 million.
the
Yeah.
CSL is. Well, no, it's 9
Well,
per
what
year.
he's making there. Yeah.
It's 9 take home.
Yeah.
And here it was 4.5 pre-tax.
Right.
And yeah, he probably got great accountants, so it was 4. But he
Nice.
essentially doubled his money or more taking that China. I can't blame him for that.
I mean, yeah, he took it high.
But at the
I mean,
same
air
point,
quality aside,
he's-
well done.
He skipped a game to come back to Seattle.
Ours was
Maybe
actually
he's-
worse.
What?
And
Air quality.
Maybe he's going to buy into the team so he can play
like
again.
Freddie Montero,
He's buying S2.
he still owns that fine-ass place in Bellevue. I believe he's on the penthouse of the Bravern.
Yeah, I was going to say it was
Yeah.
Bravern,
He
wasn't
did
it?
not sell that.
Mickey brings up in the chat, and he is dead on here. We are going to be so slow for the rest of the year. Yeah, I have to tell you.
The fastest attacking player on the team, Victor Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Except he can't shoot.
he does. Again, we
at
talked
all.
about this last time. He does look super fun on the ball.
From the 20 to
Like-
the 20,
But he's like-
18 to 18.
He just does stuff that you're like,
But the ball's like here, and he's like 3 inches taller than the ball.
Have you seen Sebastian Javinko?
I mean, yeah,
also a midget.
Is
Joao
is,
Plata.
is he
like-
is he Ant-Man?
he's Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd.
They'll all fit in your pocket.
He's like
Skinny jeans, no.
I described him as Marco Papa on Fast Forward.
For real.
Like Papa was great at slowing the game down, had all the foot skills, but slowed the game down. Victor Rodriguez has all those skills, maybe more, but fast. It's so much fun. The problem is, Will Bruin will still be at the center line while Victor
Yeah, for real.
Rodriguez is in the 18.
He's going to cross one over, and no one's going to be at like 30 yards.
We already had that
near
trouble
him.
where
Well,
it was only Jordan Morris in the area when Victor Rodriguez was crossing, and it's like, you have one target. He's marked by 2 guys.
Where'd he go?
Where's
Where'd who go?
there was no second
Mark chiming in tonight.
There was no second runner because, like,
He's
Clint
30 yards
can't
away.
do that anymore.
Yeah.
Nico has great endurance, but not great speed, if that makes sense. Like, he has good speed for an MLS player, but it's not. Yeah. So I expect Jovan Jones probably gets a goal against Dallas because Jovan and Victor,
It's going to be running up the field.
they're going to be like the left side is going to be sprinting and the right side, Kelvin's going to be like, fuck it, I'm staying home.
I will
Not
still.
running.
I'll still put my money on Chad Marshall.
So Dennis on the Twitters asks, do you think that the formula gets better? He said, do you think we get a better formula without Jordan? Like, with the
No,
combination of players we have?
The problem hasn't been chance creation. It's been aggression and finishing, and in some ways, that's an attitude. Brian talked about patience. We weren't patient enough. We needed to move it left to right to try to open up space. But also, some of it's aggression. It's weird. They're both not patient and not aggressive at the same time.
Yeah.
So they're trying to force the action, but in ways they're forcing the action with the pass rather than a shot. The example being Lamar Nagel. Lamar forced the action with a shot and scored. And that's kind of what he's great at. when he was putting up 9 goals with the Sounders in the past, it was because he forced it. He forced goals. He forced shots. He forced opportunity. And what Victor is good at, what Nico is good at, what Joven and Fischer and Nuhu and Kelvin Leerdam are good at is forcing the pass. We haven't had somebody that forces the shot. Nagel does that. I don't think he starts because he's kind of in that fading area, but he is a great sub to have right now, particularly after Will Bruin beats the crap out of people.
For real. Mark's just watching the goal over here, and we were really enjoying Roman Torres' kind of Splitsville cross
Happy
thing.
Torres.
Seriously, it's like a party over there.
I never knew the Incredible Hulk could be so happy.
He is always happy, and it is wonderful.
Yeah. The last 2 times I was practice, his kid was there too. Like the toddler that is better with the soccer ball than anybody in this room.
I don't know.
He's like 4 years old.
Tom's pretty good on the ball.
Thanks.
Ayo.
I'll stop talking. Oh, that's right. You already did that.
I need to interrupt really quick because he has a Dave Matthews Band sticker on his computer that looks like Virginia.
Don't I have 2?
No, it looks like the state of Virginia is what I'm talking
It
about.
is the state of Virginia.
They did that intentionally.
Yeah, they're from Charlottesville.
Are you even paying attention?
By the way, they're playing a
I was very
free,
good. I had a lot of great content.
They're playing a free concert in Charlottesville to unite the community.
How do you think that's going to work out?
Like 3 people will show up
No.
from Charlottesville.
No, it's a college town.
Yeah,
Seriously,
wait.
dude.
they're playing it
on.
in UVA's stadium.
Okay. So
It'll sell out.
it's free tickets. So, yeah.
So we talk a little bit about lineup for Saturday.
Sorry, I needed a friend.
Would you really expect Dallas, though? I mean, it's an away game for Sounders. Would you really expect? It's not like Dallas is just going to lay down.
They don't
at
really
this
have
point.
a choice. They're garbage.
Yeah, not sure that necessarily matters based on what
Like-
we've seen from other teams the Sounders have played.
Right. We just
Sounds
drew
like
the
Minnesota.
garbage LA Galaxy 1-1. And Portland away from Portland, not good. And yeah. So it's probably going to be a 1-1 draw.
4-4 draw, 3 penalties.
I will boo in the stadium. To the
Wow.
ground if we draw again.
There's this thing called scoring from run of play.
What's that?
Lamar did it.
Yeah, finally.
Oh, wait. We don't know what that is, and that's why we're
How
champions.
many minutes was it? It was a lot of minutes.
Can we bring up where people should watch the Dallas game?
We can bring that up.
There is a viewing party. The official viewing party of ECS is going to be east of the mountains for that game.
It is.
Over in Yakima. Which of the 2 Yakima locations?
It is at Sports Center.
Sports Center. That's an all-ages venue.
It is.
So take a little trip over the mountains,
Is that where we were last year?
watch the game with a bunch of ECS members, and enjoy the wines of Yakima while you're out there.
And beer.
They got some good beers on the east side, too. So I strongly recommend it.
So match starts at 5. I'm going to presume people will be there a couple hours early. It should be a pretty good crowd. I know off the top of my head, probably 10 people that are heading out that way, plus the crowd that's already out in Yakima, and they get a pretty decent showing from week to week. So that should be pretty fantastic.
They're the Dry Siders,
Yeah.
an
So that's-
ECS subgroup.
That is going to
dedicated
be...
to basically watching on Root Sports or Tape Delayed. I mean, those people love the game,
They do.
even if the team doesn't love them.
So...
Wait, sorry.
So anyway...
I
Do
love
we
them.
want to keep dragging? Because we've got other stuff that we can cover.
Let's talk about one fun thing. So, a few days after this weekend's away match, starting next Thursday here at the Berliner Pub. What's the address again, Dave?
just off of 3rd and Main, downtown Renton.
So starting on the 22nd.
You missed your cue.
Ahead of the curve.
21st? Oh, it is. So 22nd, 23rd.
Friday,
Oktoberfest is kicking off here at the Berliner. So there is going to be a good time pretty much every night through
For like
late October.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
basically. The final week of September for 3 weeks in October, basically.
Yeah, beer.
They'll have Oompa
Did
bands.
you say hail beer?
Yeah, beer.
Yeah, beer.
Oompa band will be here.
Yeah. So
Manuela Horn will be here regularly.
Oh boy,
so the band's going to be
she
here
is literally 8 feet tall.
starting late next week. It's going to be fantastic. For real, though, if you have not
They
been
put on
to
a great
Berliner during... Whoa, there's some weird stuff happening with your phone. You just got an Amber Alert.
Is that Elena?
Oh! So anyway, Berliner starting next week. Oktoberfest. Be here as frequently as you can. It is worth your time.
They'll have great beers that they import specifically for the event.
That they don't normally have.
The wait staff they'll staff up for it because people come here. More bratwurst.
Dave will be here some nights dressed to the nines.
Trying to figure out what I have that's Oktoberfest themed.
Dave
and it's
has
really
no
just
lederhosen.
Hobbit themed.
No, he does.
He has Hobbit-themed clothing.
Yes, but
That
not
is
Oktoberfest.
close.
He'll even do the feet.
That is close. Wow.
I've never done the feet.
Yeah.
I've done
just-
the face, but not the feet.
I don't even know what to say. Elias, out of Yakima,
The Sports Bureau.
points out that they were at Bill's Place last year. Not
Okay. Bill's Place is the over 21 over in Yakima. If you follow the Drysiders at Drysiders or Facebook.com/Drysiders, you can find all their venues. They have partner bars in Spokane, Yakima, Tri-Cities, and sometimes find ones in places like Chelan, Walla Walla,
Idaho.
Idaho. That's kind of their realm. That part of Cascadia where it doesn't rain, and they're smart enough to not root for the Timbers.
East of the mountains and just keep going for a while until the Heartland Horde starts to fight with them over territory, which is like the Dakotas.
We'll come to blows. There'll be knives.
Has anyone fought over Montana yet? What is happening
It's
with your
Heartland Horde.
phone right now?
There's somebody in Heartland Horde
We
in Montana.
have it on.
Yeah,
we have it on good.
Horde thing.
We have good information that says Mark's ex is trying to hack into his phone right now because it keeps lighting up and making huge beep noises. What's even happening there?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so while we're talking about fun, important stuff, Ugo is not here with us tonight. He's actually, yet again, in a really cool way, doing big things to make smart stuff happen in Burien. So we're just giving a shout out to Ugo because he's not just given up many, many SonarFeed nights to do that, but many other nights and weekends and breakfasts and lunches and so on.
That
just
dude
to really,
is somehow maintaining the job.
I have no idea how because
A
he is
dating
doing.
relationship that's actually going very well. The voice of S2, and has become quite politically active
Yeah.
in an issue that is vital to his community.
Yeah.
However,
K.
you
Dot Hope.
however you define his community, like whether it's soccer,
People, places, whatever.
Latino,
Yep.
or Burien.
We joke with him that he should run for mayor, and he's like, no. And we're like, no, actually, you should totally
It's-
just run for
it's-
mayor.
it's-
Like,
I would prefer
Seriously?
King County Council for the South
Right?
End, personally, because I don't want his influence limited to Burien.
Seriously, I'd give it a couple.
I don't want his influence limited to Burien.
Oh, hey, I can hear you.
A little bit.
what's that like?
So,
Sultry.
yeah, he's dropping down to a monthly guest here on.
It's cool. It's
But
worth it.
It's very important what he's working on.
Make it happen. So we talked about the game. We talked about the week ahead.
The next one.
Let's talk to Jake
Hi.
about.
Do we need to do questions?
Have you done all the questions?
No, actually. Yeah.
You've been on the show a bunch of times. Let's talk about Toronto for a minute, and then let's have some fun with questions, even though you know all the answers. So you're moving to Toronto.
Yeah.
So pretty cool work opportunity. How excited are you? On a scale of 1 to...
Screaming internally.
Screaming internally.
I had a different one I was going to go with, but I mean, that's okay.
Screaming internally.
You're screaming internally.
It's like a weekend.
What about on a scale of 1 to Chris Crocker?
What's going to kill me
old?
with that question?
She's giggling. 1 to Chris Crocker.
She's happy.
But he is excited.
Chris, Caroline off microphone is talking about how Chris Crocker cried about Britney Spears.
You'll be crying Chris
And
Crocker
she is
or
nearly
excited
at
Chris
that point
Crocker?
as well.
Who's Chris Crocker?
Okay.
But crying sad and crying excited at the same time.
All right.
Who's Chris Crocker?
So
I'm
you-
relaying this because,
Just-
as Jake usually does, Caroline is well off mic,
We
and
gotta-
so people listening to the
So
show
you're
need
moving
to
to
know what's
Toronto.
going on.
Who's Chris
What are you
Crocker?
doing?
So I decided to stop doing.
Really? Leave Britney alone, dude. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know who the Leave Britney Alone guy is?
No.
We'll have,
Holy fuck!
we'll have to show Fody after the show.
We will cue that up literally immediately
Mark.
after the show.
Mark, I don't know either.
Oh my god!
Dave doesn't know either.
Are you serious?
I would like for it to be known.
Wow.
Okay, they're saying based off of age, Mark should know and I should know.
All right. So
So
But I
real
need to
quick,
remind people, Mark's old as fuck.
real quick,
I
I'd
am?
like to say that Kevin.
Third oldest person in this room. Are you sure? Well, I'm not going to say that you're old. Maybe Jay is old. Okay.
So
Mark's
I,
the fourth oldest person in this room.
so I would like to say that off camera,
You'll never be old.
Kevin stood up in anger and Seth and said the gays are angry. The record has now
Mark.
been known.
I've also been told that I've Darla noted that
so
I have to
distracted
warn.
ourselves.
I got to warn a girl before I yell "Holy fuck" next time. I'll take that. I'll take noted.
noted.
So you're moving to Toronto. What are you doing?
So those who don't know, I currently work for Microsoft doing logistics. So I'm going to go do logistics for the entire country of Canada for all of our data centers.
That's all the provinces,
No,
even the ones that like 4 people live in.
no. Just Quebec and
Oh, so that's not all of Canada.
All of Canada that matters.
That
so
All of
matters.
Canada matters.
Quebec, Ontario, British Columbia.
Nobody lives anywhere else.
Damn.
There's like 10 people in Alberta
no.
that matter.
Hockey players live every place.
So
else.
anyway, so you're not going to be spending time in Kamloops.
No.
Okay, just checking. All right, so you're doing logistics for Canada.
Yes.
For Microsoft. Are you going to live downtown?
Yeah. So temp housing should put us downtown, like 3 blocks from the Loose Moose.
Yeah.
For those of us who went to
Party
the
at Jake's.
By the way, the Winnipeg
That's Losipeg.
CFL team
Losipeg.
had to put out a warning because there was a loose moose during the tailgate.
But like a real loose moose.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
An actual
Oh.
moose had invaded the tailgate before the Winnipeg home game in the CFL just this last weekend.
Go Canada.
Sorry, loose moose.
So I was on a cruise once, and there were some folks from Winnipeg, and we called them the Winnipegos. That's all I got.
All right. Moving on. So, other than being just amazingly excited about moving to Toronto, what are you going to do while you're there?
So I'm going to deface every TFC ball I can find.
Cool. You're bringing stickers?
A lot.
Okay.
That was fun yesterday.
I'm picking my tickets in retirement seats this week
In Toronto?
for Toronto.
Toronto.
And I'm going to boo the fuck out of my halfway most of the games. Just like, fuck you, Gio. Just whole game.
That's going to not.
You have
go
to
over
add
well.
A.
But Canadians aren't aggressive enough. So
I
it'll be
don't
good.
understand. Like, I can't hate Giovanni.
Like at all.
Giovinco,
That's
like,
true.
Yeah.
I know he's amazing. but-
Keane was an asshole on the pitch, but a really good player. Giovinco is as good a player as Keane was, but isn't an asshole.
Who
Okay,
was
so-
number 7
so
last
let's
night
move
for
to
the
Josie
Galaxy?
then.
Alessandrini.
Okay, that explained a lot because my dad made the comment. He goes, "Is everybody that plays for the Galaxy that wears 7 an asshole?"
Yes.
Yes.
But
All right, so you're
LA
getting
is
your
for
seats.
assholes.
You're getting your seats.
Galaxy
LA
era.
is for assholes.
Okay. So you're going to be baller
yeah.
in
No.
Canada. You're going to be
my
at the
favorite
Loose
twofold to
Moose
ever appear.
on the regular. You're going to hang out with Kurt Larson.
No.
No.
Never.
What else are you going to do?
Fly to Quebec every couple weeks.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
So I got to get my French.
You don't even need
not
to because,
French.
there are sections of Toronto where if you wanted to experience an entirely new culture, you just
No,
walk
no.
in and they don't speak English.
Yeah.
But I do have to fly to Quebec for work.
You have to call it Quebec, dude.
Quebec.
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 K-A.
Or
Quebec.
you have to go pure Iowa and just call it Quebec.
That's not an Iowa thing.
Quebec.
That's
Jake's
definitely not an
actually
Iowa
from Iowa.
thing.
You might have just bombed on that one, Dave. But just go with it.
Hey, welcome to
So,
the club.
Tell us, give us like your three cool things you did, 3 favorite things about Seattle. Like, tell us a story,
Is it about
okay.
me? Oh, sorry.
preferably about Dave.
About Dave. So, Dave, look at me.
That was so good. Get it?
I can't keep a straight face now.
Here it is. It's so good.
Totally threw him off.
Anyway, tell us something.
So, for those of you who don't know, I was the Game Day Tifo crew lead, which we've given that to Gromitz. Shout out to Tim Wood. That's probably the most exciting thing I did while I was here, making sure the South End was always set up for the game. I don't know, I'm a pretty boring person. I go to bed like 9 p.m. every night, except for Sonar.
So
Yeah, but you go to
jealous.
work at like 7.
Yeah. Except for SonarFeed nights, I'm at like 9 p.m.
9.
9.
Well, it's 8:45. So-
Except for SonarFeed nights.
Got it. Okay. I was confused for a second
Yeah.
there.
I was the guy who poured the wine at the wine tasting. Cause,
You were that?
But
So give us your 3 favorite restaurants
3 favorite restaurants. So
in Seattle,
that still exist or just...
in general.
And if you don't mention my roommates, then I'm going to punch you.
No. So Deru in Kirkland,
In Kirkland.
but still counts. Crack and Kanji when it was still around.
R.I.P.
And then...
Seriously.
And then Canlis.
Well, yeah.
Rough 3 options you just picked
Yeah.
there.
Not Wolf on Wall Street? Wolf
How
of
to
the
eat a wolf?
Walrus.
How do you...
How to cook a wolf.
Walrus and Carpenter.
Carpenter, thank you.
Walrus and Carpenter, and How to Eat a Wolf. I
How to
believe?
cook a wolf.
Cook.
Cook.
I mean, right after you cook it, you
That's
eat it.
Stoll, right?
Yeah.
The wolf.
Least favorite touristy thing that you did in Seattle?
Anything around Seattle Center.
Wait, so you're
let
not?
me-
You don't
Let's
want
build
an arena?
there.
let me be specific. Bumbleshoot, because that can get.
Do you know what was cool?
Why
That
do you
is
hate
the-
hippies?
12 years ago?
That is the worst organized thing I've ever seen. My brother flew out last year for it and dragged me around, and it was fucking terrible.
Other Jake.
I strongly
Your
object
brother.
to this opinion.
What? You object? Have
Yeah.
you been in the last ever?
Well, yeah, ever. Yeah, I saw They Might Be Giants, Presidents of the United States of America, Foo
Okay,
Fighters, L7.
so you went before it became shit, is what you're saying.
The Van Warp Tour treated as a stop, so that was pretty awesome because they basically put up a half pipe in the middle of Memorial Stadium.
But that's every
and
Vans
had
Warped Tour.
15 punk acts.
I think
there.
Bumbershoot's done, dude.
Dude, Bumbleshoot was line culture, and the only way you got into a show is if you paid the extra for that VIP section. And then it wasn't when it was a show in Key. They put you in
Maybe-
like the nosebleeds.
maybe I'm just too old.
instead of
Because
not
I thought
letting
they
you
might
down.
be giants in Mercer Arena when Mercer Arena existed, and there was a 4,000-person conga line there.
Okay,
I
yeah.
saw
we're
a
agreeing
Soundgarden
that it was
there.
good.
It used to
I saw
be
Pearl
good.
Jam it.
Yeah.
We all agree
Yeah.
it used to be good.
Loud.
The highlight of the Bumble shoot I saw
Presidents
was
twice.
Macklemore being extremely Macklemore and just throwing Dick Spogos at people in the from the
Nice.
stage.
What's
That-
wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with
What's
that.
wrong with throwing dicks around?
That's like I said, the only good thing that happened.
That's
Like
Mark's
he
every
said it, and I was
non-soccer
like,
weekend.
All right, let's do SonarFeed questions because everyone's here specifically for this. Actually, like everyone in the bar inside too. They're
I
all
swear to God, if you say Thin Mint, I'm kicking you in the alley.
So
But you didn't stand up. It couldn't be that offensive.
What happens when he gets a 3?
we're just gonna rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
Favorite Girl Scout cookie.
Samoas.
Thank you.
What?
There is there is a right answer, and then there is Samoas.
Jake,
So
Jake,
Como
look.
Delight.
Jake,
as the West Coast knows.
Jake, look
No.
behind you. Jake, look behind you.
Baby, you're doing great. Hi, this is BG Kev. I'm stealing on. Fodi's been working my nerve all night, and then he's been yelling at hashtag Team Theme Vents. So I'm just here to make sure Fodi knows his place. Please carry on, Jake.
Shout out to K. Hope.
The right answer is tagalongs.
I'm not a. That's the peanut butter ones, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge peanut butter guy.
Communist.
Like they're good,
Oh
but
my God, you sound like a Trump supporter. Like if anyone says anything they don't like, they're like communist, and you're like,
Wait,
that's
wait.
literally not
no,
communism.
No, it's not communist now. It's Antifa.
You're like, I don't like when I don't like when like the militarized police killed my friend, and they're like, whatever, Antifa, and you're like,
What?
my friend's dead. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, hats. It was the hat that did that.
Slight distraction. The well-done fries
Yeah,
at the Berliner pub.
yeah.
Throw in Maine and Renton.
Stunning.
Are they well done?
I'm gonna have one. Thanks, Dave.
How is my laptop only at 33% from charging this
It's a
whole
good
time?
laptop. Anyway, Mark, your turn. Ask a question. You know him. Come on.
SonarFeed questions, Mark. You're not drunk this week.
The secret is he's
Yeah.
always drunk.
Did Tom tell you we went to a brewery before we came here?
Mark's picking me up in Tacoma, and all of a sudden I have tweets coming in.
Which brewery?
Odd Otter.
Odd Otter. Yeah.
haven't been
And
there.
he's tweeting his untapped beer check-ins. Anyway, they liked them, by the way, I think, the brewery.
Yeah.
So ask a question.
Totally out of order, but favorite thing that you spent under $100 on recently, and why is it?
Please make it be awkward.
Why is it the Thunder jacket?
Oh, that okay. That's a good one. So the Thunder shorts
Yeah, Thunder shirt.
For a dog?
for Manfred.
Yeah.
Because I've got a spaz dog.
Do they make those for humans?
They make like a heavy blanket. It's like a 20-pound blanket or something like that.
I could
called
use
a
that.
straight jacket.
I could use that for Sounders games.
It's called a straight jacket. And
And-
yes, you could.
Yeah, but yeah, I've got an anxiety dog, and it works wonders.
The best is the viewership is going up as you answer questions, which is making me really happy. Dave, your turn. While you're eating.
Oh, cool. I'm going to... Jake from DM is one of the people who has sponsored me, and I've created a character for him, so I'm going to get geeky with it. What's your favorite D&D character?
Shit.
And why is it the one that Dave made for you?
That's okay. He hasn't played in a while.
No. Yeah, I haven't played in a while. I got you.
'Cause
So you
our
made my
online game fade
character.
away.
So you made my character, and then immediately they got disbanded.
That's not my fault.
I know it's not your fault. Everyone has jobs.
I'll make you more characters.
But the character you did make me was great. Like, totally worth the Patreon. By the way, you can support Dave Clark on Patreon. He makes cool short stories.
Patreon.com/fullmoonstorytelling. I accept money.
Cool.
Though you can go on a lower tier now since he's a job.
No, don't. Jobs. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Okay.
High teal, everything.
Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie.
Best band you've seen live, which isn't part of our thing, but should be.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Best band you've seen live.
Best band I've seen live. Earth Crisis.
Talk to me about that.
So
I don't know the band nor why it was awesome.
So it is
Jake, this last question.
straight edge hardcore from 90s. At one point, signed to Victory Records when Victory Records CEO was not coked out of his mind.
Cool. What's that like?
I don't know. Tony's an asshole, so I've never known him as not an asshole.
Look, you're on the internet.
Tom, by the way, add that to our list. That's
But yeah, so Earth Crisis is the best show I've seen.
cool. What did you like about the show?
I mean, it's just pure chaos.
Did you crowd surf?
No.
Good.
Could
Never
you-
crowd surfed either.
Caroline, you're up.
I feel like this is fucking ambush.
Yep.
God damn it.
What's your favorite pickup line?
I'm too awkward to have a pickup line, as you know. I don't have pickup lines.
Hi, my name is Jake. Would you like
That
to
was the
take-
pickup
That
line.
was the pickup line.
You guys want to talk about your first date?
That was the election night. And everyone was crying.
So it was election night in the theater in my building.
Everyone was sobbing.
And Jake brought a really, really, really nice bottle of scotch. And we opened it.
That's why I didn't go to work the next day.
Yeah.
You know, a good McKellen would do that.
There
to
was
you.
crying. I don't think either of you guys cried.
That's like
No.
twice a
Yeah.
month.
There was Arthur pouring himself like a pint glass of
Blue.
blue.
Yeah.
Brandy was like sobbing.
Wait, Arthur had blue drink, but a
No.
No, like
Johnny
Johnny
Walker
No,
Walker
Blue.
Johnny Walker Blue.
Like a
25-year-old.
Do you have another question since Jake didn't answer that one really?
I thought we were talking
Well,
pint glass of
although
blue
maybe
drink.
that was
which
Not
is
blue
done.
drink. Not blue drink.
That's worse.
Not Kelly blue
You
drink.
can make up a question if you don't like any of these.
I'm going to see if you answer this one like I do in my head. Words or phrases that you overuse?
Jake.
My own name.
Hi, I'm Jake.
Wait, that's also his pickup line. He's overusing his pickup line. That's bad news.
Daenerys Stormborn, first of her name, of House Targaryen, mother of dragons, the unburnt. This is Jake.
Damn.
Wow. You might have just gotten roasted on the internet.
I love it. He can't even say anything. He's like, oh.
Shit.
That was just a joke I thought of in my head. It wasn't anything.
So what's your
on you.
answer?
Would I overuse
Or phrase?
or phrase?
Fuck again.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know that I've heard you swear.
No, fuck. Fuck is, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Like
does
in the
come
middle
up
of
for me.
conference calls. Like,
It's because he's looking at Slack.
I got a great promotion.
Fuck.
In middle of conference calls, I say fuck a lot.
no, like,
That's what I've done wrong.
dude, I cuss it like I cuss up a storm at work. No fucks given.
Well, actually, it's all the fucks given.
No fucks given. How do you think I've made it this far?
No, you give all the fucks.
No.
How's that?
When the
When you
Jake
talk.
from DM movie is made, who plays Jake from DM?
So people have told me Jonah Hill.
Oh.
Approved.
Yeah.
I could see that.
It's just fucking soccer, Greg.
You are getting so much shade from Kevin, it's not even funny. We're going to move on.
That was great.
Let's do the.
Which historical figure do you want to go in a bouncy house with?
You know, I've thought of these questions before, but like, because I knew eventually these would come up, but so Arthur Conan Doyle.
Wow. That's a really good one. For those that are watching that have no idea who
Thank you.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is, would you like to explain who he is and why?
So
We're talking about Mark, by the way.
Who he is and why he is.
Why he is.
So he wrote a couple books. I don't know if you've ever read a book, Mark.
They usually have
Go
pictures.
Kuogs.
I figured most of them they've been read to you.
Yeah. No, that was the C and say.
Subscribe to Audible.
That was the C and say.
Keith
CNC.
Jackson read the books to you, right?
Yeah.
But he wrote Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
Who's that? I'm just kidding.
What's the last book you read?
Last book I read was
Scorched Trials.
You caught me.
That was my Joe Biden right there. Liquid Swords. Which is like the best tweet of all time, by the way.
The
Last book I read, gotta look it up on Goodreads.
No. So I haven't read a book in a while, but the last book I did either read or listened to was Armada, as narrated by Will Wheaton.
Nice.
oh, that's the Ernest
Ernest
Cline, the guy that if you know of him, you know of him because of Ready Player One. Armada was his second novel.
I enjoyed
Okay.
it.
I have not
Your
read.
turn. Mark. The list is here.
What advice would you give yourself in
10 years ago.
2006? So 2007, 10 years ago. You were what, 15?
10 years ago, Jake.
16.
I was close.
Still don't go to college. Don't waste that year and a half trying to do community college because it's really not done anything. Like, I've gone farther than like half the people I know back home. Who stayed
Brad,
with their parents.
stop listening.
Brad, turn the podcast off.
No, mine's a fluke. If Brad, you're listening, still go to college. But like half the kids I knew who got 4-year degrees or masters,
But also this side of the table,
li-
totally.
like, are either still waiting tables or working like minimum wage back home.
and also stop listening, Brad.
Held himself. That was impressive.
is everything else
What?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Wasn't my list.
Didn't you though?
What's the last gift you gave someone?
Last gift. Does that include buying food and stuff?
No.
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 There's
because-
certain
because
food
if it did,
purchases
it would be Caroline's dinner every night for the last 8 months.
Oh, I was gonna say Sarah and I have nice offs, so
they
we just buy each
do.
other stuff.
They
And
do.
so last thing,
Here's a pair of socks. Here's a really nice thing. Here's a nice greeting card. Here's another nice thing. It's wonderful.
Huh?
Do you want to ask if they have questions for Jake?
Hey, who else has questions for Jake?
None of my questions we have some fly company.
when the fuck
Have
did
you
Max
met us,
show
Max?
up?
You're here.
Been here.
Oh, last
Question.
What are your top 2 favorite brands of hot tea for the morning?
brands or just types?
Types.
So there's a very good French.
Wrong.
French Earl Grey. So it's bergamot with rose.
Mine's good.
And then East India Trading Company milk oolong.
Acceptable.
Acceptable. Wow.
Jacob R. Martin.
Do you want to?
What was your favorite moment in your Sounders fandom?
So during the PKs, the MLS Cup, I was basically just sobbing into Eileen
In Toronto?
in Toronto. I was one of the either that or Colorado for Western Conference Finals. We drove from Seattle to Colorado, and then I, being the idiot from Iowa I am, just wore black T-shirts. And so I had people from work like for like the next 6 months like, hey,
Colorado in late November.
yeah. It was like
fine.
35.
It was fine.
So like I saw
That's good. That's good T-shirt weather.
Yeah, it is great T-shirt weather. I had people at work like,
Go
hey, I
Kulovs.
saw you. Were you wearing a T-shirt? Yeah. And then the blizzard on the way home, and then every time we'd stop, Tom would and Beth would arrive like a few minutes later.
It was actually funny. We were like leapfrogging randomly on the highway the entire way.
You know what
And
my favorite part about
I was
that?
the only one who knew how to drive in snow, besides Dan, who hadn't driven in like 10 years. So like Larry Senior was in a panicky when it started to snow. So I was like, hey, Larry, do you want me to take over? And that is an amazing dog right there.
There's a dog larger than Mark here at the
It is a Jersey
Berliner
cow.
Pub,
That is a
3rd
that's
Main,
a
downtown
proper
Renton,
Jersey.
ahead of the curve. Mark, we'll explain that off mic later.
Do you want to ask that one?
Sorry, I was distracted by the dog.
That is a Jersey cow.
The small horse that blessed us. What are your favorite songs on the pre-match playlist?
For us too?
For you.
All of them.
Your favorite
Or your
songs.
personal.
Oh. Let me go to Spotify.
What gets you hype?
You could just guess, dude.
Kenny G.
I really hope it's like
Go Dogs, bow down.
D'Artagnan's theme, or like something weird like that.
While you're looking these up, I'm just going to distract with my
More
own
questions.
answers to this.
Yeah.
Is I quite recently have been listening to music by Bear McCreary. He did the soundtrack to Outlander, Black Sails, the last Battlestar Galactica remake, and so it's all like get your blood pumping, like kill people who oppose you kind of music.
Black Sails is
So-
tremendous.
And I
So-
wake up to that every morning.
So,
Makes the dog angry.
So we have an update.
Oh, Jay.
Firestorm by Earth Crisis, or
His favorite live show.
anything off Cover Your Tracks or Bury Your Dead.
Okay.
I have no idea what he just said.
I don't. A lot of times when he talks about music, I don't know who he's talking about.
Cool.
Same.
Caroline,
What would be
Kristen's been with me
your
for 18
last-
years, and she still has
your
no idea
last
the music
meal
I like.
and last drink if you were on death row?
Last
Records.
meal,
Last drink.
last drink.
On Death Row Records.
It makes the question so much better.
So is Suge killing me?
No, you're just on death row records. Like if you worked at death. If
So what
you
you're
were
saying?
signed to death row.
So
If you were
Suge
signed to Death
is
Row
going to
Records.
kill me then.
probably.
So
You're
at the end
about
of the
to be
day,
killed.
by Suge.
Let's make this a two-part question. If you were actually on death,
Death Row.
and
if you were on
were
Death Row
signed to
Records.
Death Row Records.
So if I was on death row, it would be a good steak, Iowa sweet corn, and
Sentimental.
and a drink would be a good root beer.
Nice.
Classic.
Do you have a favorite root beer?
So there was a brewery back in Des Moines called Raccoon River Brewery who did a great root beer.
Trash Panda?
Yes, Trash Panda.
Awesome. And if you had signed to Death Row Records, what meal would you have during that?
During
Bull-
your tenure.
Bullets. Because someone's going to shoot me because it's Death Row Records. Or Suge himself. He might run me over, too. There's that option.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? You'd remember how to answer this question.
Awkward long
Pass.
pauses.
Get it.
Survey says
Awkward long pauses.
Pass. We'll come back to that.
Wow. Mark,
Okay.
just make one up.
Your favorite shoes?
Red Wings.
That's a good answer.
You buy them, you never have to take care of them because they have lifetime. You take them in, they oil them for you. The soles ever wear out, you mail them in, they resole them. Like, you never have to buy another pair of shoes.
David?
or Reebok pumps.
Awkward long
When
pause.
you play FIFA, do you play as yourself? Oh wait, that's what we ask the players when they come. What
Yes.
team and/or player do you play with when you play FIFA?
So it depends who I'm playing with. So if I'm playing with friends, I usually play AFC Wimbledon, just so I can pay Akafenwa
That's super random. Good call.
because he's the strongest player in FIFA.
So you just like run through people.
Exactly, just fucking run through. And I play that weird view where it gets longer and closer depending on where you have the ball. So yes, Akafenwa, AFC Wimbledon.
So do you just play as him the whole time?
Yes.
So
Until he inevitably gets red carded when I slide tackle somebody from behind or something like that.
I'm gonna guess when you play Madden, you play as Marshawn Lynch.
I don't play Madden.
But if you did play Madden, it would be Marshawn because you just run through people.
No, it'd be the Bears. And if there's a classic
the Iowa.
mode, it'd be the fridge.
Have you ever seen SB Nation's thing where they put like 11 of the same player on the field as the team?
I mean, no, but that'd be pretty great.
I want to see that now with the fridge.
Or Walter Payton.
The
That's
fridge.
what the NCAA
The fridge.
mascot mode is so good for. And you just play as
So,
Bucky Badger.
I want to
No,
see
no,
the fridge
no,
as
no.
a punter.
Nitro.
No.
The
If
fridge
I,
as a punter.
If I
would play
was
8-ball.
8-ball, the motherfucking tiger.
Hell yes.
8-ball, the
Wait,
tiger.
if Mark was interested in producing the show, we would put up a photo of 8-ball. Which, if none of you are aware of what this is, Dave, you're wildly off camera right now. You might
It
wanna-
doesn't matter.
He also has a great Twitter account.
Okay.
It's unofficial,
Look
but it's.
up 8-ball.
I will retweet one of his
Mayball
tweets.
tweet.
It's so great. It's one of the best
It's
accounts.
Cocaine.
It's real.
Yeah.
Which is the best.
And it's always like, hey.
What is that even?
What's your favorite song by the Monkees?
I really don't have.
Hey, we're the monkeys one.
I really don't have one. Like the Monkees don't really hit my album list.
Forgot how creepy he looks.
So creepy. Oh, Mark's learning how to produce.
I can't even give you the weird looks because I'm not on camera. I've never asked that question before here.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not zilch.
I do like 80s hair bands. Like Beatles.
What's your favorite song by the Dave Clark Five?
The Dave Clark 5, probably Dave Clark 6.
That's not an answer.
What?
It was that one time they had the 6th Dave Clark in the band. We don't talk about him. He had a bad drug addiction.
I'm
I have a
glad I'm off
question.
camera. Oh, Caroline. Good.
If you were challenged, what would be your weapon of choice?
So let's do. Oh fuck! What was that sword? So I've been watching a lot of. So since we got Hulu Live, I've been watching a bunch of Forged by Fire, that weird history show where they make swords and shit.
Yeah.
What's the one that has like it's straight and then it's got the curve in it. It's like an African sword. It was used to cut off heads.
Gopesh? Falchion?
Whatever that one. The one-
Scimitar?
Scimitar would be sweet, but let's go with the Scimitar because I can't think of the other name. Or anything with Damascus steel.
That's a really specific comment. I'm actually really distracted right now about that. What other teams do
At
you
least folded 60 times.
What other teams do you care about that aren't the Sounders?
So
Wrong.
if I watch football, which I don't usually,
American football.
American football, The Bears.
The Bears.
Iowa or Iowa State?
Iowa. If it's baseball, the Cubs. I grew up.
Is that because of WGN?
No, I grew up watching the AAA Cubs. They're based in Des Moines. So
Okay.
most of the guys I watched came up through the AAA. Now,
That's cool.
if we're looking at the Dutch league, it's Ajax.
Oh yeah, the Dutch league.
I don't really watch EPL because whatever. We've got the team in Finland, which I will make it to. What is it, Tampere?
Tampere United.
I will probably make to that because we have a DC in Helsinki, and so when I make it to
work excuse.
when I make it to Helsinki for work, I will go see Tampere.
Can I interest you in Cambridge United?
If I have to pick an EPL team,
Well-
Huddersfield, because they've got the weird Scotty as their mascot.
The Terriers
The Terriers.
and Patrick Stewart,
Yes.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
If
sorry.
I have to pick an English team, it's the Wimbley Womblies. So AFC
Not
Wimbledon.
Cambridge?
No. If I have to pick,
Adrian owns Cambridge.
if I
or a
whatever,
a minor
if I
share.
have to pick any English team, it's AFC Wimbledon because I own stakes in them.
Plus, it gives you the natural rivalry of MK Dons.
Fuck MK Dons.
When was the last time you climbed a tree?
Probably about 10 years ago.
love that he thought about it.
Probably about 10 years ago.
That's one of those ones that if we add it regularly, it'll be either like yesterday or like when I was a child.
If you had unlimited funds to build a house that you would live in for the rest of your life, what would the finished house be like?
So it'd have at least 3 acres. I would like to do like a hobby farm. Is that like the most Iowa thing to say? Like some chickens,
No, but it is now.
like a chickens, maybe some goats. Nothing like crazy house-wise, just like 2-3 bedrooms, 2 baths, hardwood floors. Either that, or if I didn't do land, it would be something turn of the century. So Victorian.
Which one?
Turn of the 20th.
Got it.
That's every house I lived in up until I moved out here. The newest house was 1910.
Okay. Mark?
What would be your first question after waking up from being cryogenically frozen for 100 years?
Wasn't this supposed to be a pizza delivery?
Great Futurama reference.
That's a really good answer. Wow. So I'm pretty sure we would do this all night, but we should maybe like not be assholes to the people that are watching.
I mean,
Although I think the boys in the back of the yard here will hoist a few more.
We just
Uh,
the fact that Mark leaned in closer to you, even though he's wearing headphones, he could hear you anyway.
Yeah, shocking.
It was so I could read the question off the screen.
So, before you head out, if there's something that
I wanted to
you
smell
would like
as
to
much.
say or request of our viewers or people in Sounders Land, whatever it may be, what would that be?
so ECS does not look like it does without volunteers. You can't paint with 6 people. You can't sew with 1 person. I have people who go in 3 hours before every game to set up the section, put the rail banners, put the capo stands, put the flags in. There's easy ways to get involved, and this is a way to do it. It's how you'll make friends. It's how you can show support without stepping on a stand and being a capo or leading a march if you're not somebody who's someone to be out in front of everybody. There's a pride in when you see photos and say, hey, I spent 45 minutes setting up that section, and that's what makes it the best environment in MLS.
You look like you're all broken up right now
I'm
about
slightly
this. So,
broken up.
well, that's awesome. I didn't pay you to say this. Let the record show. So, but I would say from all of us in ECS land, for sure, thanks to you for a lot of hard work for the better part of a couple years here. So,
Was this technically an exit interview?
no, but it is now. I'm going to make this a little brighter conversation. What's the passcode to your apartment building when we all get to
There's
Toronto?
no passcode yet because I don't have
Damn
the
it,
passcode yet.
Jake.
However, after talking to Curtis last night, we will be chalking out spaces for everybody to bring their beach towels and pillows like in preschool. So everybody, we're going to map out that square
You
footage.
do know that like 38 people will take you up on that.
$15 a head?
Are you going to have a parachute?
Particularly December 9th.
Yes. We can get a parachute.
Okay.
Game's really early, by the way.
4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, pretty early.
Yeah.
That means we won't be freezing.
That also means Mark will maybe
Wrong.
remember his ticket.
Mark won't be able to get in the game because his tickets will still be at the hotel.
We'll tape the ticket to him this time
Pin it.
because he won't be as drunk.
Pin it to my
To his
collar.
chest.
We could just tattoo it on him, the barcode and all.
So do we do the Toronto skyline on his other arm when we win?
I thought that's what I had already.
Yeah, that is what
That
you have.
never mind. Anyway,
When he gets inked,
again.
Go Kuogs.
Let me go find my tatty daddy.
So, shout out to Jake for coming out tonight. I know you have probably 500 things you're looking to do before you bounce from Seattle.
Aren't you going to tell him what we got him?
nothing.
A gift card to Applebee's.
I don't think they have those in Canada.
They do.
They have them on the way to Canada.
Fuck
They've
you.
got it, but they've got them in Des Moines.
There's probably 700 of them between
Are you
here
telling
and
me that
Toronto.
Canadians don't feel good in the neighborhood?
I love that you asked that with a perfectly straight face. The best is on the way here, Mark's like, hey, Tom, you want to stop? And he just points at some nondescript parking lot. And I'm like, why would we stop? And he's like,
Applebee's.
why? Right there.
Apple bureaus.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just like blocking it out.
Was it Factoria?
No, Renton. I picked him up in Tacoma.
Oh, yeah. Over by Red Lion.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for coming tonight. Hope you had fun. Caroline, thanks for humoring us on a Monday evening. Unless we have anything else to share, we will be on next Monday night, 2 days after what is hopefully a victory in lovely Dallas. Is it? Yeah, no comment. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, for coming out to the bar tonight. Jake?
So, Seth, yes, there will be real hockey where I'm going.
That is accurate.
And guess what? You guys still want to have real hockey because the Port and the Seattle City Council
We have real hockey
And the mayor.
down in Kent.
And the mayor.
and
Don't
the
forget
mayor
And in Everett.
are having a fucking orgy
Fuck Everett.
And the Tri-City Americans.
together
That just got weird.
And Spokane.
Like at
because
the end
they're
there.
fucking idiots.
Well, yeah.
It's very intense for the last 30 seconds of it.
And
We
this
need
is
to like lighten it up a little bit.
and yeah, and fuck Everett. If we're picking Seattle area hockey, fuck Everett.
Thunderbird's greater than
Yes,
Silvertips.
yes.
Chiefs are better than both.
You got a song, dude.
Go Kuogs.
It was like Costin wrote it.
Wow. And on that note, we're going to close up tonight's SonarFeed show. If Mark can remember how to turn off the
This has
streaming.
been episode 216. Drew Fischer sucks.
See y'all next week.
See
Thank
ya.
you.